In a world teeming with towering trees and whispering winds, lived two small sparrows, Puku and Puki. They were siblings, born in the same cozy nest, nestled high in the branches of a grand oak. Their childhood was a blur of warmth, parental care, and the rhythmic song of their mother, who always promised them the sky. As they grew, a day came when their parents, with gentle nudges and reassuring chirps, encouraged them to take their first leap. The world beyond the nest was vast, intimidating, and full of unknown challenges. Puku, the cautious one. Puku looked at the vast blue expanse with wide, trembling eyes. The wind seemed too strong, the ground too far, and the other birds too fast. Puku's first flight was wobbly, short, and ended quickly in a nearby bush. Much lower than the nest. This is good enough, Puku chirped, finding a few overlooked seeds. Why struggle to fly high when sustenance is right here? Quote, Puku spent their days in the lower branches, close to the familiar trunk, never venturing far. The berries were plentiful enough, the worms easy to find. When strong winds blew, Puku tucked themselves deep into the thickest foliage, grumbling about the weather. When other birds spoke of distant, fruit-laden orchards or thrilling thermal currents, Puku would dismiss it. Too risky, too much effort. I have all I need right here. Puku built a small, simple nest, quick to put together, functional but exposed. Puku often felt a dull ache of boredom and sometimes a pang of envy watching the others. But the fear of the unknown always pulled Puku back to the perceived safety of the familiar. Puki, the curious one. Puki, too, felt the fear, but it was mixed with an insatiable curiosity. Puki's first flight was also wobbly, and Puki fell more than once. But each time, Puki picked themselves up, shook off the dust, and tried again. Puki soared higher, got caught in an updraft, tumbled, but learned how to correct. Puki ventured further, discovering streams with refreshing water, fields bursting with plump grains, and other bird communities with new songs and ideas. Puki learned to read the clouds for rain, to recognize the best foraging spots, and to build a sturdy, wind-resistant nest using the strongest twigs and softest down. There were days Puki flew until Puki's wings ached, days Puki searched for food in vain, and nights Puki shivered in a sudden cold snap. Puki faced predators and narrowly escaped. But through every struggle, Puki learned resilience, resourcefulness, and the joy of discovery. Puki made friends, shared stories, and helped others. Puki found a profound sense of satisfaction in overcoming challenges and witnessing the beauty of the world. The winter's tale. Then came the harshest winter anyone could remember. The lower branches of the oak, once Puku's safe haven, were quickly stripped bare. The easy seeds vanished under a thick blanket of snow. Puku shivered, hungry and miserable in their hastily built nest, which offered little protection from the icy winds. Puku was cold, lonely, and full of regret. If only I had flown higher. Searched further, Puku lamented. If only I had been braver. Meanwhile, Puki, having explored widely, knew where the sheltered berry bushes were, where to find pockets of dormant insects, and how to utilize the sun's warmth even on the coldest days. Puki's strong nest stood firm against the blizzards. Puki had learned to store food and to rely on the community of birds Puki had befriended. One bitter morning, Puki saw a shivering, almost unrecognizable bird huddled near the base of the old oak. It was Puku. Puki's heart ached for their sibling. Puki brought some stored berries, not as a handout, but as a gesture of kindness and shared knowledge. The awakening. Puku, Puki chirped gently. The world is hard, yes, but it is also full of wonder and resources if you seek them out. Every struggle teaches you something valuable. Every fall makes you stronger for the next flight. Puku, humbled and weary, listened. The comfort of the familiar had become a cage. The perceived safety had led to vulnerability. That winter, with Puki's gentle encouragement and example, Puku began to change. Puku took small, tentative flights, learning how to find food in the snow, how to mend and strengthen their nest. It was difficult, painful even, but each small success ignited a spark of hope. The lesson. Spring eventually returned, vibrant and forgiving. Puku was no longer the same bird. Puku still preferred a slightly quieter life than Puki. But Puku now flew higher, knew where to find the best seeds, and had built a sturdy, comfortable home. Puku understood that true security wasn't found in avoiding challenges, but in developing the strength and wisdom to face them. Puku and Puki continued their lives, Two sparrows with different journeys, but united by the profound lessons life had taught them. Puku learned that sometimes, the greatest comfort lies beyond the comfort zone. And Puki learned that every effort, every risk, every single flap of the wings, no matter how small, builds the capacity to not just survive, but to truly soar through the vast, beautiful, and ever-changing sky of life.